Access granted. Access denied.
Welcome, Center of Light. It's good to see you on this beautiful, sacred, holy night. Why is it so holy? It's because you are here. And since we are here, we're going to add a little bit of Earth heartbeat. Hello, everyone. I don't know why YouTube never. That's not true, because tonight I'm having a little bit of freezing issue. I think everything is okay. Robert, I'm going to send it to you in your inbox just to see if that solves the problem. Hello, everyone. Give me a second. It is sent to your inbox, bro. See if that works, my friend. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Center of Light. Tonight we are speaking about peace. Personal peace as well as world peace. Let's see what the KK has to say, the big K. I'm neither here nor there. I'm somewhere in the universe. Good to see you tonight. Having a great time. Had a great day. Got some rest. I've been sleeping a lot. You know, I like my rest and I like my naps, but I've been sleeping all day. So tonight is Center of Light Olive Branch. I want to offer you a gesture from my heart. Do I have my shirt inside out? I do. I have my shirt inside out. Anyway, without a doubt, we're going to keep moving forward. Tonight is Center of Light Olive Branch. It's a gesture to acquire peace, if you have not it already, to greater degrees. My olive branch, Center of Light Olive Branch. Gesture. Tonight is peace. Before we get down into the thick, I want to make a couple of announcements. Robert Harrison, thank you again. He's offering these rings, it's gold and silver. They're called astronomical rings. There are links in these forums, YouTube as well as Facebook. I suggest you check out both of those links because they go into detail, or it paints the picture of what these rings open up to be, other than a gyroscope, wormhole, hello. But it also has some astrological signs on it. I am giving those away for a $25 donation. $25 donation to Center of Light. They're really, really cool. And these things, thank you, Robert, are moving very quickly. All these things I'm going to be offering up, as well as, if you're interested, send me a message in this forum. What's up, my brother Dennis? As well as this pendant. It's a Mayan calendar pendant. Very, very heavy. I absolutely adore it. $30 donation to Center of Light. You can leave it in this forum, or you can send me a personal inbox message on Facebook or keithanthonyblanchard@gmail.com. Now, I have one left. What is the one you have left? Hello, Andrea Forrest. I have one of these left. Check that out. Ain't that bad? Badass. So, those are on sale for $35. Not sale. It's not a sale. You donate to Center of Light. You can donate that to me. There is a link in these forums that say donate to Center of Light, RT Tour Support, or you can just contact me. So we have the astronomical rings for $25, this Mayan calendar pendant for $30, and the last one in the lot of this right here for $35. Robert says he has more Mayan calendar pendants. Thank you, Robert. Bro, thank you. Hello, everyone. Tonight we're going to be talking about personal and world peace. Are they the same? Yes and no. Love, sweat, and years into this presentation. I don't know what's happening with YouTube, so my apologies. Let me look over there real quick. Something squirrely happening on YouTube. So everyone, my apologies. Feel free to join me on Facebook. This has never happened before. So anyway, let's keep moving. There's lots of energy bombarding the earth. Lots of energy bombarding the earth from the sun and the galactic core. There's a huge opening in the galactic core. Huge. I'm getting interruptions and I don't know why, but anyway, we're going to keep moving on. The earth is being bombarded by energy. Loads of energy. And it's changing things. It's rearranging things. It's moving things around. Do you feel like you being moved around? I'm sure you do. I do. Especially you empathic ones. You're being nudged and fudged everywhere. The earth is being bombarded with energy. Tonight, I'm going to lean a little, I'm going to be very light, but it's going to be heavy. Meaning, when it's time to get fluffy, warm, and fuzzy, I like fluffy, warm, and fuzzy. When it's time to press and hit a little hard, hello, Louis Machi, my bro, that's what is going to happen. And I'm going to lean on certain people hard, not out of judgment, Now, I'm never going to, I don't have to defend myself. I know who I am and I know my heart's intention. But let's keep moving. Welcome, y'all. Uh-oh. Here we go. I want to look on YouTube one more time. It helps me to learn. It said dropped frames. All right. So here we go. I'm going to give you two formulas. It's the same formula, two different ways. You ready for this? Hold on to your spiritual britches, you spiritual bitches. Because you're either in the mix or you will be ejected out. I'm going to give you the formula for world peace. Wow. Sounds like a big, bold statement task. It's not so tough. Stop being so rough. Here's the formula for world peace. Stop paying attention so much to other people. Leave people alone. Now I'm pressing. I'm being the male, the masculine, the dad, the father figure. Leave people the fuck alone. Leave them alone. If they don't dress like you, if they don't sex the way you do, leave them alone. If they don't politic like you, leave them alone. Just leave them alone. Well, Keith, I'm guilty by association because if I let certain things happen, God is going to punish me because I didn't stand up for this ideology, this dogmatic view I have about what is right and or wrong for other people. So I'm going to insert myself to say what I think you should or should not do. Look around. It's everywhere. It's obvious. I'm pointing out the obvious. Here's a formula for personal peace. Pay that attention to yourself. Leave yourself alone. Alone as in stop picking at your life's scab. We want to pick. We want to dig. For God's sakes, that life scab has been trying to heal. And you will stop picking at your life scab by being alone to review your own wounds. So in other words, leave yourself alone. Stop jacking with yourself, but also find yourself alone so you can heal that aspect of yourself, picking at your life scabs and jacking with other people. Because you see, people who call others names, they don't realize the karmic backlash that will return from messing and judging other people. As KK said, especially in this time when we reap what we sow is exponentiated. Those people who call others libtards, this, that, the other, transgender, and they make fun. If you're such a one that is listening to this voice, you, my brethren or sister, have a divine choice to make. The Lord Christ himself said, stop jacking with other people. So you stop jacking with other people. You leave them alone. In fact, you love them for the diversity of what they are, who they are, and what they can become with the potential that lies within this flower. They're not like you this second, this minute, this hour. Nor was the universe ever designed for it to be so. Yo, do you understand? Where you have hang-ups are your hang-ups. It has nothing to do with the other person, though you try to involve them and inflict trouble and pain and grief. But what you're really doing, you see, is projecting your own undealt with nonsense onto other people, hoping they will help you lighten your load, because misery loves company. You don't want to be in your cesspool by yourself. Whole lot of stink going down in there. You understand? If you call people names and or judge them, you are simply not at peace. Tonight's presentation is Center of Light Olive Branch I am offering to you. Presentation tonight is peace. You are simply not at peace if you jack with people. And it will get tougher for you, and it will get tougher for you to stop calling them names in the judgment cycle. And trust me when I tell you, that cosmic 2x4 will continue to knock you upside of your head. And it'll be tougher for you to get out of the karmic cycle. You see, you do not fabricate your thoughts. You do not think your thoughts. You do not think your thoughts. Keith, please share with me how that is. You are a receiver. And as you are in your experience you call life, thoughts move about all of the universe. You have never created thought. You have not. Everything that has ever been thunk is moving around the universe. Now, what you are open and or susceptible to is what allows itself to seep into the whole of your consciousness. Be it this, as Brian Harden would say, yum or yuck. Flow or stuck. That's it. So here's another way of bringing yourself to peace. You don't think the thoughts, they flow through your consciousness, which seems like your head. Be careful of the bed that you make. You will have to lie in it. Lie, and that is the truth. Check yourself. Those who jack with other people, I am here to tell you, as the world, the timeline begins to disappear. Why is the timeline disappearing? This is us. You, me, your brother, your father, your mother, your best friend, your sister, your cousin, all that. The absolution of things is getting closer to humanity in the form of consciousness. And everything that is absolutely not of the light will be revealed, and you will see your shadow self. Until one day, the monster will be bigger than you can beat. Hear me. I'm going to give you a piece of a movie I made 4 or 5, whatever years ago, called "And the Meek Shall Inherit the Earth, the Prophecy Realized." It's a segment that reinforces stop jacking with people. Leave people alone. In fact, learn how within yourself, whatever religious deity you follow, they all represent the embodiment of goodness. So choose one if that's what you need in the first place, and follow the model they left, which is leave people alone. In fact, learn how to love them for exactly who and what they are. If not, trouble is coming for you. In this video segment I'm going to play for you is Einstein's formula many years ago about the theory of relativity. Many years ago in meditation, I received a new formula. Why? How can that be? Because the timeline has changed. Time is depleting and things are exponentiating. This is called the theory of reality. Listen very closely. It will help show the principality and the powers and the power structures that are involved with this depleting of time. From my movie, "The Meek Shall Inherit the Earth, the Prophecy Realized." Listen. Relativity Definition: the quality or state of being relative, something that is relative. The state of being dependent for existence on, determined in nature, value, or quality by relation to something else. Theory of the relative, rather than the absolute. The interdependence of matter, time, and space, as developed by Albert Einstein in two separate theories. The theory includes the statement that motion is relative, not absolute. The velocity of light is constant. The mass of a body in motion varies with velocity. Space and time are interdependent and form a four-dimensional continuum. One of the greatest minds in all of history belonged to Albert Einstein. His mission when he was on Earth was to present his theory of relativity to the world, a theory that prepares you for an even greater truth to come. Since that day is here, I shall give you a new formula, an updated one that takes into consideration the shifting and reshifting that has taken place since his original one was proffered. Einstein's formula said that nothing can go faster than the speed of light. The theory of relativity. E equals mc squared, where E equals energy, m equals mass, c equals light. The new formula says that there is something faster than light, and that something is thought. The difference between these two theories? One states that slowly but surely linear time is depleting. The theory of reality, where E equals energy, lifting, m equals mass, manifesting energy, c equals light, omnipresent with no velocity. E equals mc pi over relativity, pi over 4. The pi over relativity correlates to the quickening that is now taking place. Relativity correlates directly to people, all the relative personified spirits who use the primal force of thought to create and define reality, whether it be with clarity, knowing, and intention, or with confusion, belief, opinions, and judgment. The pi over 4 represents the no time factor that diminishes the space between your thoughts and the manifestation of reality, the window between what you think and what happens. The number 4 in this case is the numerical symbol that signifies the power of the whole that will move within you and permeate your emotional body as intense feeling, thus guaranteeing the manifestation of the self. Thought. Definition: the act or process of thinking, reflection, meditation. The power of reasoning, intellect, imagination. Through physics, Einstein's theory of relativity revealed to the world its linear to vertical thought speed capacity. Now, as people become more aware that they are one, that very capacity will change exponentially. Let's talk a little more about math and how it's useful, its intended purpose, and its progression. Before someone is exposed to math's principles, their thought process proceeds more or less on a linear level. Once they learn its basic applications, more advanced modalities of vertical thought begin to emerge. Their mental capacity increases as they master algebra, geometry, trigonometry, and calculus. If they go on to study physics, quantum physics, and metaphysics, they come to understand much more about the universe and how it functions. But neither math's formulas nor its numbers are really that important. Math's real value lies in the expansion it brings to the minds of those who master it. Math offers a way for people to comprehend something higher than themselves. Still using basic math, let us look at the foundation a child operates from. The number one is the very first concept a child learns. The child discovers who he or she is as one and interacts with the world using that awareness. Yes, children understand the universal primordial number before math ever comes into play, because it is the very nature of the universe to operate from this premise. Zero, definition. Nothing, figure zero. Point on a graduated instrument from which positive and negative quantities are reckoned. Now for the concept of zero. Among zero's many divine attributes are wholeness, balance, completion, union, and last but not least, eternity. Zero is the highest idea there is, but it is not user-friendly, for it requires you to fully comprehend the idea of nothing or no thing, God. Notice I said idea, because zero is just that, not a number, but a concept. And until a system is in place that enables the collective mind to expand into whole thought, understanding the divine will remain a challenge. As with zero, the number one is a formidable number to realize. If you do not understand the concept of one, trying to comprehend numerical concepts such as millions, billions, and trillions would only be putting the cart before the horse. Just know that if you continue to break everything down into bits, you will always find yourself living in a world of multiplicity and separation. As we look to history, we learn of people who are now deemed to be great, but who were regarded as quacks, crazies, and troublemakers by the contemporaries during their time on Earth. Is it not ironic how these prodigies were only accepted after their lifetimes? Just about everything of value we use in our modern world was gifted to us by these so-called weirdos: Jesus, Franklin, Tesla, Einstein, and others. Not only were these geniuses divinely inspired, but they understood the 0-1 principle, so they were able to make their great discoveries and thus better humanity. Albert Einstein said, "The most important decision we make is whether we believe we live in a friendly or a hostile universe." What is your answer? For myself, I live in a friendly one. Everywhere I go, I see beautiful people yearning for the same peace I have found, and for the rest of my life, I will continue to dive deep within myself for greater degrees of it. My home is in Memphis, Tennessee. Here it is believed by many to be a place filled with hate and racial tension. I don't see it. Is it because I am not plugging into the illusion that many are? The evidence of violence that can be found not only here where I live, but anywhere in the world for that matter, says that many haven't been making choices from the 0-1 principle of God or the unified field. These types of people are living in a disconnected reality, the reality of me, mine, them, and they. If you look at the cliche of me, myself, and I, you might recognize the me in this saying as what you'd think yourself to be: separate, alone, and detached. With this viewpoint, seeking self-gain is automatic. You don't have much choice in the matter, because such an attitude is never about the true you. It is about the ego and what it wants. You must be willing to toss that me of yours into love's purifying fires to ignite the flame of who you really are. You must not continue to let your ego steal from the self that you are in order to appease your mirage self. You must turn your selfishness into selflessness,
We all must reverse the formula of me, myself, and I to I, myself, and me. First, see I as the totality of all things. Next, honor the higher self or highest good in everyone. Then accept everyone as they really are, facets of God or the unified field where all things connect and originate. I understand people's concerns surrounding extremist groups causing hateful acts in the world. Groups like ISIS and others from the Middle East have clutched people worldwide in a death grip so tight that they gasp for air every time it becomes a news media event. But let's not be in denial about how other radical groups are contributing to the same harm and problem, all in the name of religion or God. It is undeniable that they share the same mentality. Both have their holy word in one hand, all the while carrying a gun in the other. Can you see the picture being drawn here? If this mirroring view is not realized and continues, as George Santayana stated during his life, those who do not learn history are doomed to repeat it. We must put the illogical mind aside and the guns down. As Pope John Paul II said, the worst of death and horror can never vanquish faith, hope, charity, and simple human decency. We will win with love, not guns. Evil always will devour itself.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Tonight we're speaking about Olive Branch, Center of Light, Olive Branch. Tonight is about peace, personal peace and world peace. I have a lot of reading to do, so I'm going to get right into it. Welcome, everyone. Hello, Ted, my dear friend. This is an intro, the intro to my bestseller, Homecoming: Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. We have all heard the saying, time flies when you are having fun. Well, my friend, I can tell you and attest to that very idea. Where has it all gone? From my experience, it hasn't passed me by as we normally perceive time to do. Hello, KK. It just seems to have vanished. Today, meaning some years ago, today I'm writing this, and I'm grateful to find myself deeper into an infinite space where time is a simple play of divine consciousness. From the time I started writing my bestseller, The Divine Principle, in 1996, and completing it in 2009, I have learned so much from the wisdom that moved through my vessel. For the years that follow, I continue to live in the brilliant light of those teachings, which I have no doubt readied me for the next plateau. I consider that phase of my life as, hello Lynn, the initiation into spirit. From 2000 to 2014, I was working on a book about my pilgrimage to India to see a divine incarnation by the name of Satya Sai Baba. For the love of God, a spiritual journey was the beginning of the rising phoenix within me. Going back to 1996 and coming forward to 2014, I've experienced so much expansion that I almost could not contain myself. I consider that phase of my life as the integration of spirit. At that time, but now it's about 6 years. About 6 years ago, I was watching over a friend's house while they were in England. One day I was sitting on the sofa in silence, thinking of what I could do to alleviate my boredom, when all of a sudden a voice spoke to me from within saying, "Keith, grab your phone, go sit by the fireplace, turn up the video and go at it. Turn on your video and go at it." I immediately got up, went over there, sat on a pillow, and got right to it, not knowing what was about to unfold. The first thing that welled up in my heart was to talk about how you me, we can have it all. After looking into my cell phone and taking some deep, intentful breaths to connect, I could actually feel the voice begin to fill me inside as it did when I was writing the Divine Principle. For the next 2 years, which is now many years now, that presence began to consume me, literally. Since then, I've been doing a live video series, as you're experiencing now. I changed the name. Since then, I've been doing a live video series on social media called Center of Light Bursts. These presentations, as now, other than the fact that I'm reading a little bit, are usually off the cuff, allowing the voice of my heart to speak. One by one, as people gather in the virtual room, they experience this divine love pour through my being and into theirs. It is such an amazing and beautiful thing to witness, watching them at every gathering burn with the fire for radical transformation. I have a lot of reading. I think I overcommitted myself. But tonight's presentation is about peace. So let me go into the segments that are really about peace. Still reading from the intro of my new bestseller. I now wear the golden ring on my finger, symbolic of my marriage with the divine. I cultivate this relationship in every possible moment through my commitment to live a life of service to everyone. But here's the thing. My olive branch gesture is that you reach for and join me in this sacred union yourself. And when you sincerely intend to do just that, the dove of peace and everlasting light will wipe the cobwebs of time from your mind and the darkness of fear from your vision. You too will find yourself crossing the bridge to the soul and reside in the garden at last. I'm going to play a video and come back. I'm winded. It's a little warm in my house, so I am now going to play you a video by Sadhguru. Sadhguru means earthly saint. Sadhguru has awareness on 16 dimensions. To give you an idea of what 16-dimensional awareness is, the fact that you're here now, listening to my voice, is one dimension. When you go to sleep, that's another dimension. When you go to sleep and become aware, that's another dimension. So forth and so on. You, my friend, are a multi-dimensional being of infinite possibility. And reaching all dimensions is what's called spiritual liberation. Sadhguru will tell you a little more about tonight's presentation, which is Center of Light, Olive Branch, Gesture, Personal, and World Peace. I'll be right back.
This is very important for all of us, that we create a culture of peace. When I say a culture of peace, every transaction that human beings have, somebody gains, somebody loses. Yes or no? In every transaction, whether it's within the family, in the community, in the larger situations in the country or among nations, whatever you do, always someone loses, someone gains a little bit. How to go through these transactions without making them frictious or conflict? This has to come within every one of us, that when I lose, I don't want to beat you. I have some other way of settling it. This doesn't mean I will simply lose. No, there are other ways to fight. There are other ways to fight than getting physical with you, isn't it? So, this culture of peace will not come just like that. This culture of peace needs to be… it's a generational work. It's not like one day slogan you all shout and go back home. That's not going to work. It's a generational work. It's about how we bring up our children, it's about how we behave on the street, how we interact with each other. On all levels, we create a culture of peace. People should understand there is a way of dealing with things peacefully. Mahatma is a representative of this, that he found peaceful solutions for very violent problems. Not only in India, using his inspiration, Nelson Mandela in South Africa, Martin Luther King in United States, the entire movement there, very violent problems, but peaceful solutions were found. This is important if all of us want to exist. Why I'm saying this is, there was a time when the only weapon we could pick up was a stick. The stick became a sword, the sword became an arrow became a gun has become a bomb has become a super kind of bomb. Once this kind of destructive capabilities we have, it's extremely important that we have a culture of peace within us, because it's not just going to be a broken bone, I don't know how you got it. If you took a stick, it would be just a broken bone. Took a sword, just one man died. But if you took a nuclear bomb, now entire civilizations can go. So this has become extremely important now, that there is a culture of peace within me and around me. This is not going to come with slogans, this is not going to come with politics. This is a generational work that all of us need to work for, that we bring this into our lives. No matter what is the loss that we go through, we learn to conduct it in a certain way. See, whenever something happens to us that we think is injustice, we want to beat somebody. This is very important, that you learn to swallow injustice and work for justice. You don't try to fix injustice right there on the street. To bring a culture of peace is not one day's work. All of us need to work upon that. First of all, we should know how to be peaceful. So what you call as peace is a certain kind of chemistry. What you call as joy is another kind of chemistry. What you call as ecstasy is another kind of chemistry. Agony is one kind of chemistry, misery another kind of chemistry, stress, tension, whatever you go through are different levels of chemistry. Now, this human body is the most sophisticated and complex chemical factory on the planet. Do you agree with me? Only problem is you're a lousy manager. So please understand this, the violence is not in the society, the violence is within us. What have we done about that? This is what inner engineering means, that you engineer yourself the way you want to be. Nobody can take you where they want. If somebody else can decide what should happen within you right now, you're an absolute slave, isn't it? Hello? Hello? You don't like it? See, if I decide how you should dress, how you should sit, what you should eat, you'll say this is slavery, isn't it? But if I decide right now whether you can be happy or unhappy, peaceful or violent within yourself, if I'm going to decide this, are you not in slavery? Worst kind of slavery, isn't it? That what happens within you, I will decide. This is what you're allowing in your life. You're allowing this to happen to you, that somebody can decide what happens within you. If you don't take charge of this, you will live a life of a slave. When you live a life of a slave, you will always feel life is unjust to you. When you feel it's unjust, violence is a natural consequence of that. A yogi was passing by in your Nagaluru. A few people gathered and abused him. In every possible way they can abuse him. He listened to all the abuse very attentively, not ignoring them, very attentively. Then he said, I have an event in Pratima college. In the evening, I'll come the same way. If you have something more to say, you can tell me at that time. These are the kind of people, they will say 100 things. If you say one thing, they will beat you. They're just waiting for that. But he said, he heard all the worst kind of abuse, and then he said, in the evening I'll come back if you're ready for more. Now what do you do with this man? Because this man is like this not because he's a coward. He is like this because he's decided how to be in his life. He's decided he lives peacefully and joyfully. You pull him whichever way you want, he won't come your way, he'll go only where he wants to go. An intelligent man or no? Huh? Just you must look at yourself and see. Anybody can drag you whichever way they want, isn't it? One word, just one word, they can drag you. This freedom, every human being, especially the youth of this country, must earn, that nobody can decide how you are within yourself and what you will do with your life. You decide. Otherwise, you will live a life of a slave. When you live like a slave, at some point your frustration will burst out as violence.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Let's get down to some reading from Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. Tonight's presentation is about Center of Light, olive branch, gesture for peace, personal and world peace. 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 From Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. Spirit says to me many years ago, I know how immense this challenge, peace, is for you, Keith, because since you were born, you have been instilled with the idea of separation. Because of this feeling, you have often forgotten your kinship with me, meaning God, and that has caused you more grief in the long run than any dilemma you may have been confronting. But I bring you a love offering, an olive branch gesture, full of information to help you remember the peace you sometimes tend to overlook. On our spiritual excursion, we shall cover the basic principles that are imperative for your growth. We will first form a solid foundation of understanding so that we can then move on firm footing to achieve the peace that you seek. Dear ones, meaning all of us, when will it dawn on you that wherever you go, you are still you? Nothing changes if you do not change yourselves from within. So I say to each of you, if you're sincerely seeking a better life, take responsibility. Like Sadhguru said, don't be a slave. Take responsibility and take action by pulling your perception out from under your fear. Only then will you be able to live in peace and share my love, God's love, with all things in creation. And I ask the question, good question, deserving question. Why is peace so difficult for us to get to? Many do not know what peace looks like because they have made no effort to familiarize themselves with it. It cannot be said enough. It takes love, trust, and clarity to live the peace that lies within you. This is your moment, my divine children. For lifetime after lifetime, I have watched all of you work diligently so that you can be here now, preparing for the greatest time in history. Cosmic history, that is. Do not take this life for granted, you lucky one, because there are many souls who still await the chance you have been given. Human birth. Keith, I see you wanting to get higher, but as the many aspects of your life are becoming finalized, I also see the fear that is causing you to resist the changes that are taking place. That was many years ago. What is happening now? I see many of you resisting the changes that are taking place. My son, change is inevitable. Just wait and see. The more you close the old doors of your life, the more new ones will open for you. And I say, so how do I get comfortable enough, despite my fears, to walk through those doors confidently? All you can do is prepare yourself for what may lie ahead. The clearer you become by doing self-work, the fewer fears will crop up, and no matter what door you find yourself approaching, you will begin to recognize it for what it is. Indeed, as the path you are seeking begins to announce itself with more and more certainty, you will not feel comfortable unless you walk it. You all already know this. This search you have embarked upon pulls at your heartstrings. It nudges you to keep you moving towards God's peace. And I ask, but what if it turns out that I'm not on the path? Hello, Debbie. Hello, Kelly. Spirit says, this is a common worry for most spiritual aspirants. But the truth is that no one could ever get off the path that is meant for him or her. It's if someone feels that they have strayed, this concern of theirs will put them right back on the path. Here is the path. Just stay in the present moment at all times. It is this awareness of the now that will keep you from being caught off guard by events that, in the past, would have caused you to react. It is not accurate to think that you can deviate from your life's design. That is the difference between destiny and fate. Destiny is living your life consciously. Fate is the result of being unconscious. The fact is that not recognizing the path is actually part of the path. No matter what road you take, your life is in my hands, meaning spirit. Insinuating that I cannot do the job well enough. If that is your position, I assure you there will come a day when you will wish that you had trusted in me, your higher self, from the very beginning. And I say, but it's such a challenge for me to let go of my wants. Keith, you are not alone. There are many that think that they know what will give them peace. But yet, even when they get what they think will do it, it turns out that peace is not a permanent part of the package. Tell me, dear one, why do you think peace is so difficult for people to reach? And I say, because somehow all of our wanting has managed to divert us away from you. Spirit says, you have listened very well. Have there not been times when you tried and tried and tried to get what you wanted until you were utterly frustrated? Yeah, I would get tired of trying and say, forget it. And how many times have you thought that what you wanted was never going to show up, only to hear me say, psst, here it is. You see, peace was there for you all along. But until you decided to release yourself from your inflicted burden of want, all you got for your efforts was a stressed mind, emotional conflict, and physical exhaustion. But for what reason beats me. I now speak to all my children, Spirit says. What you must understand before you can fulfill your passions is the difference between wants and desires. I know this may sound contradictory, but it's not, because wants are having to have energies, and desires are, God, you are my peace, and if it is your will, this would be nice energies. When you believe the former will bring you peace rather than God, who is peace itself, you negate any chance that your desires will be fulfilled. When you choose God, yourself, your sacred, holy, loving, connected to your divine parent, soul, self, when you choose God as the primary force and focus in your life, all things will move toward you, not only because of the magnetic radiated light that you pulse, but because within God, all things exist. As soon as you allow me to take up full-time residence in both your mind and heart, peace for you will flourish. Hello, Timmy. So peace is not, has ever been, will ever be this arduous task. Oh, I need to get me some peace. You simply just need to be peaceful. Leave people alone. Let them be their beautiful, diverse self. Leave yourself alone and stop picking at your life scab and those wounds. For God's sake, that scab is trying to heal. And you can bet that if you're calling people names and judging people and being seriously, flat out an asshole, you're one that's constantly picking at your life scab. You want to project that nonsense onto other people because you don't want to take responsibility. Now I'm going to play you a video from the same movie I made a few years ago, And the meek shall inherit the earth, the prophecy realized. This is from God itself in the form of a human being on earth today that I was blessed to interview quite a few times. God, I did say that correctly, on earth today. Divinely illumined. Is going to share with all of us about peace and violence. Know this, the very fact that you see him is changing you on levels you may not understand, and that's beautiful, and that's okay. The fact that you hear his voice as it permeates your entire infrastructure all the way to the outerness of your being is changing you. How delicious is that? What you're going to experience is a personification of what we're all wanting, desiring, and becoming. This is what the personification of personal and world peace looks like, is. Swamiji Viswayogi. Swami, there's a lot of concern about the violence happening in the world. There are so many people dying, and it seems like it's at an accelerated rate. What is the correct way to see this? Is this mean-spirited people doing horrible things, taking the lives of innocent people early? Or is it karma resolving itself from a previous time?
This is a very good question. And today, seeing so much of suffering, violence, war, natural calamities, severe natural calamities like tsunami, earthquake, heavy snowfall, climate change. Every person is worrying and he is thinking about the solution. What is the solution for natural calamities? What is the solution of the violence happening in the world, in every country? In the name of religion, in the name of God, in the name of nation, in the name of this and that, man has become an animal, not animal, a ghost, and doing nuisance and nonsense and creating the earth a hell. We have to make it a heaven. Lord is thinking, Lord is wanting a gift from us. We are all heirs of the Lord. You asked, what is the main reason for the violence? Think, being educated, being intelligent, the intellectuals, the leaders of the highest countries of the world, they have to think about it. Why these natural calamities are happening? Severe natural calamities. What is the main reason? The main reason for the natural calamities is imbalance among the 5 elements of the earth. Imbalance. And the earth, in the climate of the earth, atmosphere of the earth, 5 elements are there. Soil, water, fire, air, and space. If these 5 elements are in proper ratio, the earth will be in peaceful condition. If there is any imbalance among the 5 elements, one wants to dominate others and it leads to natural calamities. Suppose we want air, breeze, smooth, happy, little air breeze, but not hurricane. We want water to satisfy our thirst. For the crops also, cultivation also, we want water. But we don't want tsunami. If the water in the ocean comes like a tsunami, it will create destruction. So, in the same way, all the 5 elements. So, there is a proper ratio and there is a limit. Why we are polluting the 5 elements? We are polluting. We are polluting the soil. We are polluting the water. We are polluting fire, air, space, everything. So it is the main reason for imbalance. We have to think about it. So even Pope also recently, 1 month before or a few days before, had a comet, world comet, earth comet there. And they are thinking about how to solve the earth from natural calamities. They are thinking, even the religious leaders are also thinking about it. So we should not leave it. We have to think. We should have conferences, international conferences about the climate change, natural calamities, and wars and destruction in the name of God also, religion also. No. Any religion wants to create destruction or war. Only love. To fill our heart with love, our mind with peace, and spread love and peace wherever you go. Then he will be satisfied. He will be satisfied. So in the name of religions, now in so many countries, so many places also, struggle is going on, fights are going on, wars are going on. I don't like this kind of wars or fighting. So love thy neighbor as thyself, Christ proclaimed. We have to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. Adi Shankaracharya also declared and proclaimed Ishvara Sarvabhutanam. That is, God is living in everybody, in every atom also. So we have to love each and every one. He did not say only Hindus, only Christians. No, we are calling the people who are following the preaching and teaching of Christ are called Christians. The people who are following the preachings and teachings of Buddha are called Buddhists. Muhammadan Muslims, Islam. So in the same way, all the religions are good. They are not bad. So we have to unite, and with unity we can bring peace to the world, and it is only the solution for your question. Unite. Fill your heart with love and spread love Fill your mind with peace. Spread peace. Then we can make our mind peaceful, our home peaceful, our city peaceful, our county peaceful, our state peaceful, country peaceful, and the world also peaceful, universe also peaceful. We can make the whole universe peaceful. That is the gift we have to give to our Father, the omnipotent, omnipresent God.
Welcome back to Center of Light. It's good to see you tonight. Tonight's presentation has been, still is, a little bit longer. Center of Light, olive branch, gesture from my heart. Peace, personal peace and world peace. You cannot create world peace. You cannot create world peace. What's the point of this presentation? You can create personal peace and in turn cause and effect when everyone in effect becomes affected with love, infected with love, affected by love, resurrected through love. World peace simply happens. If you watch this presentation, this is where I press hard again. If you watch this presentation and continue in your old paradigm, your old ways of judging and calling people names, not only is your life in vain, you will reap the karmic backlash because time as we know it is depleting. This is it. Get lit. It doesn't get better than this or greater than this. You might hear this presentation tonight and go back to your ways tomorrow and then catch yourself. Congratulations. You're doing the work by becoming aware of said old ways. No one's judging you regardless. You're not per se in trouble except by the choices that you have made on the double. They will show back up for you and give you a kick in the pants, all with God's grace and the intention of, do you not understand yet the cosmic dance? That's it. This window of 26, give or take, 1,000 years doesn't come around often. It comes around every 26 or so 1,000 years. And you keep reincarnating. And you keep reincarnating over and over and over. Red Rover, send John Doe or Jill Dover right over. We keep playing the same old game. Earth is beautiful. I love being on the earth. I love the earth. I love my mother. Don't, you can choose not to, try to kill your ego. Don't believe what people tell you about. You need to smash, compress, squash your ego. If you did, you cannot be on the earth. You need ego to drive a car. You need ego to have sex. You need ego to eat your food. You need ego to do this, that, and the other. It's part of your computer's operating system, so you can use your mouse. Your ego can be considered your mouse. The ability to make a choice. Well, think about what a mouse is. You left click, you right click, you have all these options, this infinite potential of what you can choose. You left click on said choice and it manifests for you. This is the importance of your ego. Now, when you get caught in the ego and it pulls you into its current, you will not have peace. But when you understand the ego is every bit as divine as the divine, then you have a power tool to use at your discretion. But it requires being in balance. It's very teeter-tottery, balancing act kind of thing. If you're causing trouble with your mouth, your thoughts even your feelings, and definitely, without a doubt, your actions to other people, karma will come pay you a visit. Many people on social media will say, someone did, so-and-so did this horrible thing to me. Listen to me very carefully. So-and-so did this horrible thing to me. John Doe left me. Jill Doe left me. Someone got even worse. They got violent with me. I hope I am there to see it when karma comes around. Chew on that. Now what I'm going to throw you, you're not going to like so much. Maybe that same karma paid you a visit and kissed you directly on your mouth and gave you a French kiss. Ah! Otherwise, it would not have happened. You keep screwing with people, God's children. God's children are those who do not screw with people. Those who are not God's children, which you still are, they still are, but are choosing to elect and opt out of the grace. Karma will come and kiss you on your face. Leave people alone. Leave your life scab alone. For God's sake, stop picking at it. That scab is trying to heal. Here's the deal. You don't have to do anything. Stop projecting. Stop fearing. Even stop loving, because often our idea of love is perverted, tainted, and twisted. Just be you. Be happy with you. Do you, be you full out, full in, full up, full forward, full toward the greatest possibility that your mind can only have an inkling of what that is. Start there. Be here, and it will become clear to you exactly the path. You cannot venture off the path, because when you ask yourself, oh my God, am I off the path? That concern of yours will put you immediately back on it. So what is the path? I'll leave that with you. And without further ado, I want you to know we got 7 more years-ish of this same game we have been playing with, this board game, for a year plus. And it's a must that you become absolutely aware of who you are as the violent storm begins to bitch. And like Peter, don't totter. Be solid as a rock. Like a rock. Peace, love, and be your full self, full out. It's really all you got. And forever, take on this endeavor, which is stop the game, stop the mind, stop it all. Stop. Stop talking. Stop judging. Stop thinking you need to know what it is that has to happen for yourself to be joyful. Transgenderism. I wish it wasn't there so I can be joyful. The left wing, the right wing. I wish it wasn't there so I can be joyful. You're wasting your time. Peace, love, and reason and rhyme. They're the same. But yet, they are different. Like you, like me, and like the we of it all, everybody is of a diversity. And you will have peace. You will have peace when you live in the unification of all people. Simply just loving people for who they are, as they are. That's the only thing that's required for you, me, and the we of it all to move into the next level. The game is over if you choose.